we will be discussing reproduction in plants. Flower is the reproductive part of a plant, stamen is the male reproductive part of the flower, and carpa is the female reproductive part of the flower. Some flower contains both male and female reproductive parts. Such flowers are called bisexual flowers. For example, pea, China rose, etc. Some flowers possess either the male or the female reproductive part. Such flowers are called unisexual flower, which means one reproductive organ. For example, corn, cucumber, etc. Now let's see the different parts of stamen and carpa. A stamen is made up of two parts, an anther and a filament. Anther is responsible for the production of pollen grains which contains male gamete. Whereas a carpel is made up of three parts. The upper part is stigma, the middle tube-like part is style and bottom part is ovary. This ovary contains ovule which contains female gamete called the egg cell. Process of sexual reproduction in plants involve the fusion of male gamete and female gamete to form a zygote together. Now for reproduction. Male gamete should reach the ovary of the flower. The male gamete from the stamen transfers to the stigma of the flower with the help of pollinating agents. This transfer of pollen grains is called pollination. Pollination can occur within the same flower or different flower. If the pollen grain reaches the stigma of the same flower, then it is called self-pollination. And if pollen grain reaches the stigma of the different flower in same plant or different plant but of same type, then it is called cross-pollination. Pollination occurs by different types of agents of pollination like wind, water, animal. When the pollen grain from the stamen reaches the stigma, it travels through the tube called style and reaches the ovary. The male gamete of pollen grains reaches the ovary and fuses with the egg cell present in the ovule. This fusion forms a zygote with the process of fertilization. Zygote divides continuously to form an embryo in the ovule. Soon the ovule develops into a seed, whereas the ovary ripens and forms fruit. Other parts of the flower like petals, sepals, fall off. In the fruit there is a seed which contains an embryo, or the baby plant. When this seed is planted in soil, in the presence of suitable condition, this seed develops into a seedling. This is how the plants reproduce.